this lesson, we will work through an extensive exercise from creating a new risk workbook to running a risk analysis. Let's refresh the first part of the risk analysis process. Firstly, we are going to import a schedule, EPC schedule.xer, into a new workbook and save the new workbook as EPC Plan Workbook. I have already cleansed the EPC schedule, so we can skip this step. Next, we're going to create a new uncertainty template named EPC Risk Template. Then we will apply duration uncertainty to our risk model. We will use the uncertainty factor template that we have just created. Next, we will import the EPC Risk Matrix template. Then we will import the EPC Risk Register. Next, we will map our risks to activities. Lastly, we will run a risk analysis and carry out a preliminary analysis of the histogram. So let's get started. For the first step, download the Primavera P6 EPC schedule.xer file and save it to a folder. I have saved it to a folder named EPC Example on the desktop. Then download the EPC Risk Matrix template and EPC Schedule Risk Register to this folder. OK, click the icon in the top left and choose New from the drop-down to create a new workbook. In the top menu, click the Primavera drop-down and select Single Project from a P6 file. In the browser window that opens, navigate to the Primavera XCR file in your EPC example folder. Click Open and confirm the file AR3000. Then click OK. We'll rename the file later. You'll see the unimported file in the Projects pane on the left. From the splash screen, click Import All Projects and confirm that the file logo has changed to the Primavera logo. Next, we'll change the project description, so highlight AR3000 in the left-hand pane. In the lower panel of the Main Activities pane, you will see the project description on the right. Rename the field to EPC Schedule. Then click anywhere in the window and you'll see that the project in the left pane has been renamed to EPC Schedule. Click the Acumen icon, then select Save As, Deltek Acumen Workbook. In the browser window that opens, give it the name EPC Plan, then click Save. Now click the S3 tab. The risk window will open and you'll see the EPC schedule in the left pane. Now, for the second step, let's create our own custom template called EPC Risk Template that we will use in this exercise. What I would like to discuss is my typical approach for creating a duration uncertainties template that can be reused for different projects within an enterprise. It is very important to obtain the understanding and buy-in of the project team, so I'm going to describe my approach for the creation of a highly customizable uncertainty template. Once we have defined our customized settings, they can be used repeatedly for defining duration uncertainty across a wide range of variables such as specific activities, work breakdown structure, activity codes, user-defined fields or filters, or any grouping or exception. So in the S3 Risk tab, click the button for the uncertainty template in the top menu. Now, the first step is to define our duration uncertainty ranges. In our case, I have chosen the following 5 duration uncertainty ranges as shown in the table: very conservative, conservative, realistic, aggressive, and very aggressive. Then we'll define the following ranges. Very conservative is from 50% to 100%. Conservative is 75% to 105%. Realistic is 80% to 120%. Aggressive is 95% to 125%. And very aggressive is 100% to 160%. These uncertainty ranges are shown graphically as 3-point estimates to make things clearer. They should be visible in your display. So now you will see that we have adopted a standard approach to applying ranges to our activities. We can now enter our own duration uncertainty ranges as per the table on the screen. Once you are happy that the uncertainty ranges are entered correctly, you can save the template. So let's save our new template. Click the Save icon, then navigate to the Acumen Templates folder and save the new template as EPC Risk Template. Click Save to close the browser window. So you'll see that you are able to create and customize your own uncertainty templates for use across a wide range of projects. Then click OK to close the uncertainty template window. Now, for the third step, we're going to apply duration uncertainty to the EPC schedule. But first, we'll change the activity display so that we can see all of our activities. So click on the Activity View pull-down in the top menu, then select Grouping Display Level 3. Now we can see all of our activities. Now we want to apply duration uncertainty to our schedule. So, in the top menu, click the Uncertainty button. Click the Open icon in the Template window and navigate to the Acumen Fuse Templates folder. Then select EPC Risk Template and click Open. The new template will open, so click the Apply button in the top menu to accept it, then click OK to close the window. Now, the uncertainty factors have been applied to all of the duration uncertainty sliders. Now, from the table of duration uncertainty allocations showing on your screen, select the correct uncertainty against each activity. So, starting from the top, for activity A030, select Conservative. Next, for A040, select Very Conservative. Then A050, Realistic. You will note that the sliders become locked after uncertainty allocation, and the Gantt bars are colored to match the slider selection. Carry on and assign all of the allocations from the table. I have already made these allocations, so I will bring up the final allocations. Now scroll the activity list over to the right, and you will see that the allocations have been made for minimum, most likely, and maximum, according to the slider uncertainties. Note how the Gantt bar colors have been allocated in line with their duration uncertainty colors. Click the Save icon at the top left before we continue. Let's view a donut chart to see how the uncertainties have been distributed across the whole schedule. Select the highest element of the WBS, then click the right panel pull-down and select Uncertainty Inputs. In the right pane, you will see a donut graph of all the uncertainty distributions. So, what is the percentage for aggressive duration uncertainty? The answer? 26%. Now click the WBS element for engineering, and the uncertainty distributions will be shown for engineering only. Reset the right panel pull-down to None. Then click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Now let's add correlation to some of the activities. The project team feel that the front-end engineering design activity has a medium or say 50% correlation with scheme paper and board approvals. So select the activity 070, front-end engineering design, then click its correlation icon to open the correlation assignment window. In the left pane, click scheme paper and click the right arrow to move it over to the right. Then click board approvals and move it over to the right. At the bottom of the window, select a correlation coefficient of 50%. Then click OK to apply correlation to the selected activities. Note the changes to the correlation icons. Then click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Let's quickly see if we can identify any merge bias or merge hotspots. Select Activity A130, External Approvals. Then click the Relationships tab in the lower window. You will see that the External Approvals has 3 parallel predecessors. So what are the predecessor activities? The answer: activities A100, A110 and A080. Then click the right panel pull down and select Gantt chart. You can see the activities that contribute to merge bias. Then click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Next, for step 4, we will make sure that we are using the correct risk matrix for our risk register scoring. Click the Risk Matrix button in the top menu to open the Risk Matrix template. Now, the project team has already provided the criteria that we will need for our risk matrix settings, so we will just import the EPC Plan Risk Matrix. Click the File Open button and navigate to EPC Plan Risk Matrix Event Template in the EPC Example folder. Highlight the template and click Open. Now you will see the new template, so click OK. Click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Next, for step 5, we can import our risk register. In the top menu, click the left panel pull down and select Risk Register. Make sure that the right panel pull down is set to None. Then in the top menu, click the Microsoft Excel pull down and select Import Risk Register. Navigate to the Excel file location in the EPC Example folder and click Open. Now you'll see that the risk register has been imported into the workbook. Note that risk number 10 is an opportunity. In this workbook, you will see that I have already predefined mitigations for our model, but they have not yet been assigned. Select Risk R1. Then in the bottom pane, select on the tab for mitigation steps. You will see that I have already defined the steps and costs to save time. Click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Next, for step 6, we will map our risks to the activities that they impact. So to do this, we will open the activities screen side by side with the risk register. We are going to map a single risk to multiple activities. Currently, we are displaying the risk register in the main window. In the top menu, click the button for right panel pull down, then select the Activities option. You'll see the Activities pane on the right. Let's increase the display area by minimizing the Projects or Navigation pane on the left. So click the double arrows at the top of the pane to minimize it. In the Activities pane on the right, expand the view so that all activities are visible. In the top menu, click the Activities pull-down and select Grouping Display Level 3. All of the activities will now be visible. From the table on your screen, map all of the defined risks to the impacted activities. So in the left pane, click on Risk 1. Let's map it to the following activities: A080, A100, A110, and A120. In the lower pane of the risk register, select the Mappings tab. You will see all of the assigned activities for Risk 1. Next, move on to Risk 2 and map activity A200 to it. Then map the remaining activities to risks as per the table on your screen. I have already made these allocations, so I will bring up the final allocations. This EPC risk mapping table will be available as a download for this lesson. In the lower pane of the risk register, select the Mappings tab. Then scroll down through the list to view the activities that have been mapped to risks. Click the Save icon at the top left to save the workbook. Now the activities have been mapped to all of the risks. So for step 7, we can run our risk analysis. Let's first reset our displays so that we are only viewing the activities. So click the left panel pull down and select Activities, then set the right panel pull down to None. Select Activity 011 Project Completion. Then click the pull down for Run Risk Analysis. Make sure that the option is selected for Uncertainty and Risk Events, No Mitigation. Then click the button for Run Risk Analysis. In the right-hand pane, we will see our risk histogram. What is the P50 date for project completion? The answer, 5th of February 2021. How many days contingency do we require at the P50 date? Click the crosshairs at the P50 date, then select the option for Add Remove P50 Contingency. The contingency line will be added. So the answer is 42 days contingency. What is the P80 project completion date? The answer, 8th of March 2021. What does P80 mean? The answer, the project has an 80% chance of completing by the P80 date. What is the P80 contingency? The answer is 74 days. Are we going to achieve our deterministic completion date? We only have a 5% chance of achieving our deterministic project completion date of the 24th of December 2020. So we need to look at ways of mitigating the 74-day contingency. So first, we should look at the inputs to see if any of them are wrong. If we cannot find anything wrong with our inputs, then we need to investigate ways of taking mitigating action. Click the Acumen icon at the top left and select Close from the drop-down. Make sure that you save the workbook. We will continue this exercise in a later lesson once we have progressed further in the course. In the next lesson, we will learn about the tornado chart and risk contribution factor. Now that we have run our risk analysis, in this lesson we will learn about the tornado chart and risk contribution factor. Select the Acumen icon in the top left and open My Risk Workbook from recent workbooks. Once the workbook is opened, click the S3 Risk tab. In the left-hand Projects pane, highlight My Risk. So, after analyzing our distribution histogram, we found that to attain an 80% level of confidence for our project finish, we're going to be 178 days late. This is unacceptable, so we need to find ways of mitigating our schedule. Now, one of the most effective ways of analyzing our risk analysis is through the tornado chart. The tornado chart will show key drivers such as high-risk activities and high-impact risk events. Acumen Fuse uses metrics called schedule contribution factor and cost contribution factor. These metrics report our risk drivers as duration and actual cost, rather than being based on a percentage. This risk driver analysis can be run at any level of the schedule or cost hierarchy, and not only at the top summary level. For instance, we can analyze risk drivers for a particular milestone. This risk driver or contribution is expressed in time, schedule contribution, or money, cost contribution. Let's have a look at the tornado chart. So click the right panel drop-down in the top menu. Select the option for risk drivers and you will see the tornado chart is displayed in the right pane. If you look at the legend at the bottom of the tornado chart, you'll see that different risk contributions such as logic, uncertainty, and risk events are identified by color. To view risk drivers, we can select either a summary heading such as a WBS element or an individual activity. Now scroll down to the procurement WBS element and select it. You'll see that the tornado chart only reports activities that are children within the procurement WBS. Now select the activity 0360, initial long lead items, and you will see that the tornado chart reports the contribution of all of the predecessors and risk events to initial long lead items. Now select the highest WBS element. In the top menu, you'll see that there is a risk drivers group of buttons. By default, the schedule contribution button is selected, so the tornado chart will display the risk exposure by schedule contribution. Click the button for criticality. Now, criticality tells us how much time an activity spent on the critical path during a risk simulation. It measures frequency of a risk and not the size of a risk. So, criticality indicates how stable the critical path is as a result of risk and uncertainty. In traditional risk metric reporting, it is a useful measure of critical path stability. However, it is not the best way to determine which activities will have the highest impact on risk exposure. In Acumen Risk, the schedule or cost contribution factor is the most effective method. Next, we have the button for cost contribution. The cost contribution metric shows the biggest cost risk drivers in terms of cost rather than percentages. Currently, you will not see a cost contribution tornado chart. We will discuss this later in the course. Next, we have a display level slider where we can set the display level of our tornado chart to display. Select the button for schedule contribution again. So we are currently viewing our schedule contribution at activity level. In the top menu, set the slider to display level 1, and you will note that we are now displaying the schedule contribution at WBS element level. Next, there is a button to add the current tornado chart to a tornado comparison chart for analysis later. This is the button for Add to Comparison. Lastly, click on the drop-down for Configuration. We have a number of options which are fully customizable. In the Analysis group, you'll see that we can calculate the risk exposure p-values in increments of 5. Currently it is set to p50. Next, if you select the option for relative values, the values will be displayed as percentages rather than days. In the bars group, we have mode. This allows you to view by activities or risk events. Then detail level. Here we can select summarize risk to display a single bar for the activity. Uncertainty and risk displays all uncertainties and risk events that are impacting an activity. Show top allows you to select the number of tornado bars to display. Activity labels. This allows you to display by ID, description, or ID and description. Lastly, display activities within bars. If this is selected, the activity ID will be displayed within the tornado bars in addition to the duration. In the legend group, we can choose whether to display the legend or activity descriptions. Lastly, in the heading group, we can choose to display or hide the chart heading. Let's look at an example. In the S3 Risk tab, make sure that My Risk is selected in the Projects pane on the left. Click the right panel pull-down, then select the option for Risk Drivers. Note that the Schedule Contribution Tornado chart will appear in the right-hand pane. Now select the WBS level at the highest level and look at the tornado chart on the right. Next, set the display level back to the highest level. Currently, this is the risk exposure at P50. We want to look at the risk exposure at P80, so from the configuration pull-down, select P80 in the analysis group. Now, look at the drivers in the tornado chart. You'll see the top schedule contributor is initial long lead items at 22 days. We want to identify which WBS element has the highest contribution. So from the risk drivers group in the top menu, set the display level to 1. All of the schedule contributions will be shown at WBS level in the tornado chart. The WBS element with the highest contribution is construction at 55 days. Beneath it, you will see the next highest WBS contribution is procurement at 44 days. It is broken into uncertainty, 31 days, and risk 1, R1, 14 days. Next, in the activities pane, select the WBS element for procurement. Which activity has the highest schedule contribution? You can see that it is activity 0360, initial long lead items, with 30 days contribution from uncertainty and risk 1. Then, select the configuration drop-down and change the mode to events. Then select the highest WBS level for the project. You'll see that risk 1 has the highest schedule contribution. If you hover your mouse over the tornado bar, you will see all of the activities that are impacted by this risk with the number of days of contribution. Lastly, click the button for criticality. Click the configuration button. In the bars section, change the number to Show Top 15. What is the criticality breakdown for activity 0270, Review? If you hover your mouse, you'll see that the breakdown is Logic 19% and Uncertainty 81%. In the top menu, click the Schedule Contribution button, then click the Configuration button, and from the drop-down, change the mode back to Activities. In the Bars section, change the number to Show Top 10. Click the Acumen icon at the top left and select Close from the drop-down. Make sure that you have saved the workbook. In the next lesson, we will learn how to use the risk driver comparison feature.